going to have a patient, someone who has Lynch syndrome speak to you and tell you what it really means to go through all of the things that we've been talking about. And to do this, we have Catherine Cosgrove. Catherine, if you could come up now and enlighten all of us here, the lay people and the medical profession. Thanks for being here.
Hello. I'm very thankful to be here tonight, learning the latest in Lynch syndrome research and advances. As you said, my name is Catherine Cosgrove. My medical description states the following. I was born July 13th, 1984, and on September 14th, 2009, I was admitted to the ICU for severe blood loss. I had 2 blood transfusions followed by emergency surgery to remove a 14-centimeter in diameter tumor that grew on my left ovarian fallopian tube. It was later defined as small cell ovarian carcinoma. With nodules showing up in areas of my body, I was put through 18 rounds of 3 days of chemotherapy with 2 weeks off between each round. On September 2010, several biopsies were done to determine another mass, which confirmed the cancer returned in a different form, as later defined as serous endometrial carcinoma, a similar cancer my mother had just years before. Erring on the side of caution, I had a full hysterectomy, also removing the second tumor in the lining of my uterus in late 2010. After which I endured another 6 rounds of chemo, 1 day on with 2 weeks off between, followed by 5 rounds of 5 days a week of radiation to my abdomen. And the latest being Lynch syndrome, with neither of my parents or close relatives with the mutation on the MSH6 gene. The process in which this all started wasn't easy. It took a lot of effort on my behalf to communicate my symptoms properly and answer questions, not to mention signing a lot of forms. Through it all, I learned a lot about our healthcare system and the process nurses and doctors use in assessing our health. It's a simple system, really, but if you don't correctly identify something, it could get missed. I learned that you have to be a true advocate for yourself and your health. Take the time to know yourself and your body, because if you can't and you rely on the sequence of questions and tests the medical world uses, something may get missed. You get examined, vitals taken, and you're told how you look on paper, but we're more than that. And we have mental and physical issues that can be overlooked if we don't voice them too. I've come to know that in order to receive exceptional health care, it begins with a mindful person speaking the right words to the right people at the right time. I wish I was more inquisitive about nutrition during my treatments. I was turned off when handed the Canada Food Guide and suggested to follow it. I took it upon myself to take the opportunity to learn how to cook. I'd never really done much in the kitchen other than heating things up and barely pulling off recipes from time to time. It's not that I always ate out and wasn't eating right, more so that I didn't pay attention to what was actually in what I consumed. So a few cooking classes later and a lot of strange looking concoctions, I was on the path to eating real food with ingredients I could actually pronounce. See, there's a big focus on on medication and what you're taking and the doses, that the other major important item we take at least 3 times a day gets left on the sidelines. For me, eating lots of fruits and veggies and becoming a flexitarian has given me energy and made me healthier inside and out. I decided to play with the idea of eating foods I could grow and get locally and avoid mystery meats. You know, that stuff after eating you think, was that chicken or pork? I'm done with mysteries and on the path to a healthy body, mind, and soul. Additionally, as an advocate of my own well-being, I researched and incorporated many holistic and natural treatment options. My oncologist didn't believe in some, but also praised me for keeping good weight on and staying somewhat sane. I guess I have the red-eyed kid down the street to thank for that. Going through treatment for me was a very dark time. It's meant to destroy things, and destroy things it does. I feel like a part of me did die in a bit of all that I did, but anyone who has gone through it can attest for the bloated, gray, monster, strange hair happenings you get from it. For those who have not, I can simply describe it as a lot of drugs that take you on a roller coaster, but not really the fun ones in the park, the scary ones that make your life flash before your eyes, and thankful for the simple accomplishments like taking a breath and standing up. You beg to be let off this ride, but taking a step back and looking at it, you see the bigger picture. And I want to live life and not just survive or get through it. We all deserve to be happy, and for me to get to that point, I had to fully embrace my situation and make the best of it. A positive attitude got me through a lot, but it's not to say I was positive all the time. There have been many moments where reality sets in and you feel like the odds are against you. And they say it's a battle, but what I didn't realize, it's a battle I would have with myself, especially when your head wants one thing, but your body demands another. I needed to give myself a lot of injections, and sometimes I would have to do it in the strangest of places, feeling like some kind of junkie. What would someone think if they saw me like this? I contemplated to myself. We go through life judging people unknowingly most of the time, looking at them and perceiving that as who they really are, when in all reality it isn't. Everyone goes through tough times in their lives, some more obvious than others, but all of us have. Something to remember next time you sit down next to someone, whether it be in a hospital waiting room, on a bus, or just in passing. I can't thank my wonderful husband, Ben, my close friends, family, and especially my amazing parents for always being there when I needed them and understanding when I didn't. It's very much an individual experience, but it touches everyone around you in very many different ways. Just because I've come to terms with everything, it doesn't mean that the ones you care about have. It's an important aspect to be aware of because treatment is always given to us, the patients, but those around us have to seek it out. It's necessary to talk to your loved ones and keep the conversation open and free-flowing. It can be selfish to only focus on yourself, but it's also very necessary too. A wise person once told me, in trying times like these, it's better to turn towards than turn away from the ones you love. And I didn't quite understand that at first, but I was learning to love and be content with myself. And I felt bad bringing others down and into my dark and scary world. But I realized allowing people in can help divide the pain and give you much needed joy. Almost a year ago, I quit my real job and opted for a simpler and happier lifestyle. I let go of all expectations of working towards a big title and corner office. Those things are no longer priorities for me. My health comes first, and by doing things I love and being active, I believe it's the right path for me. I consider myself a gardener of life. I water my plants every day and watch them grow. I exercise a lot because, to me, being in excellent physical shape means you're strong enough to handle anything. I joined the Canadian Ski Patrol because I love to help people, and skiing is a passion of mine. I'm a certified level 2 Reiki practitioner on my way to becoming a master. I just recently completed a Spartan race, 5 kilometers on a ski hill with 20 plus obstacles that challenge you not only physically, but mentally too. And just this past weekend, I completed a 200 plus kilometer cycling journey from Toronto to Niagara Falls. With over 5,000 participants, we raised a total of $19.1 million for cancer research. I'm very thankful to know I have Lynch syndrome, although I didn't think so at first. I really don't like surprises and would much rather know and stay on top of my health in the best way I can. Early detection, I believe, has saved my life. Since I learned of my high risk of colon cancer and other cancers too, I go for yearly colonoscopies and take care of my colon through what I eat. Knowing I have a genetic disorder helps me communicate my situation to my health specialist. My dentist, for example, is taking it upon himself to research his end in relation to this disorder. They say knowledge is power, and it truly is. The more we know, the more we can help ourselves and future generations. My husband and I actually have 2 3-day-old fertilized embryos, babies essentially. They're frozen at Mount Sinai Fertility Clinic. Before I had my hysterectomy, I went through a round of in vitro fertilization, giving myself injections, again, on a daily basis, after which they successfully extracted 2 of my eggs. I'm not all that sure I can go any further with the process, though. We made the decision so we would have no regrets, and even had the fertility team come into the operating room during my hysterectomy to see if they could retrieve any more viable eggs, a process which was unsuccessful. I'm not sure if my uncertainty is to do with the fact I could be passing on this genetic disorder, or if it's a lifestyle change I'm just not ready for. But I know we do love kids, and I'm an aunt to some amazing kids and fortunate enough to spend time with them. They say it takes a village to raise a child, and I believe that. It's not an easy step for us when considering whether to have children, though, because we do require a gestational carrier and lots of medical procedures to get to the point of trying. It complicates things a bit, not to mention the costs involved. I looked into a portion of it and found out even if the pregnancy is successful and we have a baby, we still have to adopt our own child. Not to mention if we have to consider if it's a girl and she ends up having Lynch syndrome. Because of my somewhat rare form of Lynch syndrome, with neither of my family members having it, I like to consider myself a bit of a mutant. My superpowers are my experiences, and by sharing them, I hope to help someone. Although my medical description may say a lot about me, it doesn't define me. Whether you've been through it or someone close to you has, you know it changes you. It takes a part of you, but if you let it, it gives you something in return. I want to thank you very much for letting me share my story with you tonight. It's been a pleasure.